What is up, crypto fam? Today we got a huge lineup. Bitcoin is on fire, altcoins are showing some sign of life, and of course the US trade with China is looking better than ever right now. So let's dive in real quick, starting off with the tariff news right here. US and China talks end with plan for Trump NC to essentially approve. This is pretty bullish, hence why we saw Ethereum literally pumping and breaking out of this region right here. We're going to be having a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin on the 3-day, the DXY US dollar index. We're also going to be talking about the Bitcoin dominance. We're going to be having a look at altcoins, US debt, crypto funding rates, Ethereum inflow, Bitcoin inflow, and pretty much that's about it. So if you guys do like this video and you guys do want to stick around, make sure you guys stick till the end. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, leave a like, turn those notification bells on so you guys never miss a video. So we had a look at the tariffs real quick. In about 20 minutes from now, we do have the United States inflation data coming out, okay? The last one was currently 2.3%. You guys can see right here, will it be above, will it be below? We're gonna have to see. The expectations right now, or the forecast, is 2.5%. Hence why we are seeing a little bit of a pullback. But that's not it, guys. If we do have below 2.3%, you could expect your cryptocurrency to essentially go up, because what is the goal at the end of the day is to see inflation below 2%, right? Now we haven't really seen below 2% since 2021, which was, you know, a little bit after the COVID era, obviously, and right now inflation has been going lower than ever, obviously, recently. So we're gonna have to see what happens. Then the data will be happening in 20 minutes from now. I will be tweeting the data on my Twitter. Link will be in the description below, and pretty much that's about it. Having a look at some Ethereum inflows right here, you guys can see the Ethereum inflow yesterday was $125 million, one of the highest we have seen in the past 2 weeks, which is obviously fantastic. If we have a look at the Bitcoin ETF inflow, we could see $431 million inflow, okay, the same and tied for the 28th of May 2025, which is really bullish and really good. Obviously, having a look right here and going to the funding rates. The funding rates for the 1 year is currently sitting at 7% to 10% for some of these altcoins. Now, obviously, high funding rates in the last year pretty much is bad. It means that, you know, crypto wants to make a turnaround. Crypto needs a pullback, crypto needs a correction, and people are probably going to sell soon. Now, of course, this is the 1 year. So should you essentially long and keep that position open for 1 year? Probably not. You're most likely going to lose money. On the 30 days, you guys can see 0.62. Obviously 7 day and 1 day. Obviously, if you guys do 0.02 times 365 days, you're going to get 7.61%, and pretty much that's about it. Now, these things are subjected to change. You guys can see right here, Solana for crypto.com, for example, is currently sitting at 45% yearly. That means that if you are holding a position on Solana for 1 year with leverage, you are expected to pay 45% on that position. Now, of course, if Solana only goes up 45%, let's say you're on 2x, or Solana, literally your profit is 45%, you will literally break even by the end of the year. So you guys need to be careful where you are trading, how high the funding rates are, and how wrecked you're getting. Having a look at the US national debt clock, you guys can see right here, currently the debt clock is currently sitting at 30 or right below $37 billion, with Doge clock sitting at $514 billion in savings. Sorry, this was not 36 billion, it's 37, close to 37 trillion, right under 37 trillion. And having a look right here, the altcoin season, currently altcoin month index is currently Bitcoin month. I mean, we're making all-time lows right here for the Bitcoin month, which is obviously better for Bitcoin, horrible for altcoins. Having a look right here at the yearly chart, you guys can see the yearly chart. I mean, this thing, we have not seen an altcoin year or altcoin season in the year time frame since 2001 and 2022, and I'm talking the beginning of 2022. So pretty much since 2001, we have not seen an altcoin season. And if we have a look right here, we've had a small altcoin week, I guess you could say. It lasted like about 1 hour and a half right here back in December, right before Trump took presidency. And we know what happened after that. The rest is history. Everyone started to put their money into Bitcoin, essentially. Having a look right here, before we talk about the Bitcoin dominance, the DXY, the Bitcoin regular chart, I do want to have a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum at the end of the day is the leader of the altcoins. You guys can see that Ethereum is attempting to break out of here. Now, what's really bullish about this is that you guys can see right here, the MACD, okay? The MACD is flipping to the upside. The last time we had that was actually right here. It was right here. That's when Ethereum was sitting, I believe, at it was sitting at $1,600. What happened? The MACD pretty much flipped bullish. We flipped green, and you guys can see right here, we are flipping green. The blue crossed over on the moving average, of course, over the orange. What happened? This thing went all the way from $1,600 to as high as $2,800. Okay, so that is pretty freaking good. Okay, that is pretty freaking good in my opinion. I mean, if we have a look right here, we're looking at 75%. Now, of course, if you are on leverage 2 to 3x, you're looking way above, 150 to 180%, depending on how much leverage you're essentially using. So the exact same thing is happening right here on the MACD. You guys can see volume profile is looking pretty good. And of course, Ethereum finally broke out, guys, something that I forgot to mention, after a 30-day consolidation. Ethereum has been consolidating right here for 30 days. And we're finally breaking out. So the MACD is looking bullish. The MACD is flipping green for the first time since April 14. Obviously, this is really, really good. So close to 2 months, the MACD is flipping bullish. And of course, we are seeing this nice little bullish crossover for the first time, of course, since probably, since the same time, April 14, essentially. Having a look at the king, guys. Bitcoin's the king, following by these exponential moving average. We know when we are below these exponential moving average, we are bearish. When we are above it, we are essentially bullish. We had a nice little rejection right here, which make everything bullish right here. And the last time we had that nice little green dot on the, I don't want to say the RSI, but the bottom line trend line, the thicker line, 44.12%. We essentially had to move all the way from $77,000 to $110,000. Can the next move for Bitcoin be $130,000? If that happens, we could see the Bitcoin dominance go 72%. We're going to be talking about the Bitcoin dominance in just a second, but you guys can see that this is obviously a downwards trend. And what happened when we broke the downward trend? We essentially exploded. You guys can see we had a nice little small downwards trend. I'm not saying we're going to see things exploding the same way we saw in terms of percentage, but we could definitely see some gain, and Bitcoin could definitely enter price discovery mode and make all-time highs for the first time in a very, very long time. Having a look right here at Bitcoin on the 3-day time frame, you guys can see that on the 3-day time frame, obviously we keep on making higher highs, which is bullish. Higher high, higher high, higher high. This is a very, very good sign. But of course, right here on the regular stochastic RSI, or regular RSI, sorry, we are below the moving average on the RSI. And the big question is, are we gonna essentially get rejected below this moving average right here? If we do get rejected, you could expect Bitcoin to at least come back down and retest the 50 on the RSI. Now, how will that impact the chart? Well, maybe we're going to come back down. Maybe this is going to be a double top. We're going to have to see. But as of right now, this is a trend line. I would like Bitcoin to break out of this trend line right here in order for us to essentially go down. Now, of course, this is also a hidden bearish divergence. You guys can see we are seeing a higher high on the charts. And of course, on the regular RSI, we are seeing a lower high. This is well known as a bearish divergence. And usually it's it means a correction is coming, but of course, nothing is guaranteed just yet. Now, having a look at the US dollar index, why do I like to essentially have a look at the US dollar index? Well, there's a big anti-correlation between the US dollar index and Bitcoin. When the US dollar index goes down, Bitcoin goes up. And when the US dollar index goes up, Bitcoin goes down. Now, what's interesting about this is that you guys can see right here on the RSI or stochastic RSI, every time we reach these oversold areas, we usually see the Dixie or the US dollar index usually fly to the upside. Now, this is on the monthly time frame. So you guys need to understand that this is not the weekly time frame or the daily time frame. This is the monthly time frame. So these candles that you're seeing right here, okay, obviously this was, years of uptrend, or not years, but many months of of an uptrend from all the way from 2021 to 2022. And you guys can see right here, we had a few months uptrend right here, all the way from November, December, January, and then I believe, from January, and then we essentially came back down. So we're gonna have to see what happens. Usually, like 75% of the time, when the US dollar index does come down, that means people essentially invest in risky assets. When it goes up, people don't want to essentially invest in risky assets, and they rather hold their money in the US dollar index, because the US dollar means it's strengthening. And when the US dollar strength, that means risky assets there's a big outflow in Bitcoin and the stock market, and a lot of these cryptocurrencies, especially altcoins. So that's what's happening right now for the US dollar index. Now, the fact that we are seeing oversold, we could potentially see an oversold region right here. This could potentially be the last month before we essentially see a reversal all the way back to at least 108. Currently right now, right below $99. Having a look right here at the Bitcoin dominance, guys. Bitcoin dominance, especially if you're a big altcoin fan, big altcoin person, you need to pay attention to the Bitcoin dominance, because the Bitcoin dominance really tells you how much Bitcoin is dominating the market right now. It literally says in the name. And in my opinion, we're most likely going to reach 72%. But before that, you guys can see right here that the Bitcoin dominance, every time we reach that oversold region right here, we usually increase to the upside. Now, usually that is not good for altcoins. That means altcoins tend to bleed against Bitcoin. And you guys can see right here, every time we have these V recovery shapes, Okay, V recovery shapes, V recovery shapes. Okay, so you could expect the Bitcoin dominance to essentially, pump. Okay, especially after these dumps right here, you could expect the Bitcoin dominance to pump. At least that's how the trend has been in the last on the 4-hour time frame. Now, if we clear this real quick and we have a look at the monthly time frame. Now, why am I calling 72%? By the way, if we do reach 72%, you could expect your altcoins to absolutely get obliterated. Okay, now 72%, guys, is this area right here. We saw the 72% reach multiple times. We saw the massive altcoin season in 2017. We saw it right here in 2019, and we have yet to see an altcoin season. So a lot of people are saying, oh, this project is dead, this project is dead, this project is dead, never making a comeback. But in reality, guys, we have not seen an altcoin season since 2021. Okay, so remember, guys, the altcoin season chart that I showed you right here on the yearly time frame, how we have not seen an altcoin season chart, right? You guys can see since 2021. Well, this is why you have to look at the Bitcoin dominance, because we have not seen the Bitcoin dominance fall down. It's only been uptrend. It's only been parabolic. And in my opinion, even if we have 3 or 4 consecutive red candles on the monthly time frame, we're most likely going to come back up and retest this level, and it might not be till a year from now. So we might actually not see an altcoin season till 6 months to actually a year from now, believe it or not. So that is my video, guys. If you guys do like this video, of course, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, leave a like, turn the notification bells on, and I will see you guys in my next video.